All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to the daily update of my 1000 day challenge. This is day 179, so let's get things started. All right, so first and foremost, you'll notice the balance has once again dropped a little bit, and that's actually due to experimental trade setup. You'll see the difference over from yesterday to today. There was actually a trade that took the loss in terms of the link setup, so yeah, that explained the difference. Otherwise, none of the trade has been closed yet, but later on, I'll talk a little bit more on these trades that have entered as well. All right, otherwise, in terms of the market structure update on the daily wise, all of them actually transited from neutral yesterday to actually bullish in terms of the traditional financial market, ranging from S&P 500, Nasdaq, ASHR, whereas KWEB was a little bit earlier ahead and has already turned bullish since a couple of days back. And yeah, so going right in through it, if you look in terms of the daily chart, let's move back in the daily chart. I'll do a very quick run through. I'll say that you can see that overall things still looks to be really nice bullish if you look in terms of line chart, but there is some sort of a potential exhaustion in that sense, a short-term potential exhaustion, but I wouldn't say it's clear cut. You can see over here and over here, but otherwise things are still looking good. Things are still closing at an all-time high once again, even though there was exhaustion being exhibited during the market opening itself. And similarly for Nasdaq, it looks to be stronger compared to S&P 500. And if you compare to ASHR, now it's a very nice consolidation phase. So things looks to be really good. And potentially if it does consolidate for additional period of time, I'll look to be adding a little bit more in terms of position as well. So yeah, if you come near this 20 exponential moving average and find support, or ideally even come below to here, which is the $40 range, I'll definitely look to be adding as well. All right, and for KWEB, like what I mentioned over here, it's a very nice long consolidation period. Now it's a really strong bull onto the upside. So looking really strong. So you have a very nice consolidation, breaks up, consolidate, breaks up. So actually, if you look into the totality of it, actually consolidated for even a longer extended period to the extent of 180 days, which is like what, 6 months in that sense. But if you just look in terms of that, that's why the longer the consolidation period is, the stronger they tend to break out towards the direction once it does breaks out. And yeah, so otherwise, talking about Bitcoin itself, so yeah, for KWEB, basically I wouldn't be adding to any long position in terms of short-term wise. I do see potential for like sharp pullbacks along the way, in which case I'll be looking to add in terms of KWEB wise. Otherwise, Bitcoin wise, if you're looking to, yeah, so moving on to Bitcoin finally, what you do notice is that potentially we could have a short-term retracement. So the ABC wave could potentially not be completed yet. So as you understand in the Elliott wave, why the C wave typically is a 5-wave structure. So looking closely, this is probably the 1, 2, 3. This is potentially the 4th, and then we get a 5th wave going down. So unfortunately, I've already entered a long setup. So potentially I could choose to take my profit earlier or close to a minimum stop loss, but I still do see that potentially we could complete this with some, yeah, so I mean in terms of Elliott wave, then potentially this would not be complete yet. However, that bearing in mind, I still do see that we are forming higher lows over here. So I'll still stick to it that as price remains above this 30,800 mark, I would not close it and I'll leave my stop loss over here. Yesterday, I did mention that I'll move my stop loss upwards, but after thinking through it, I decided not to do so, simply because it could be easily triggered and then we have a bounce back. And even on this region, which I drawn as a good position in terms of long-term setup, or preferably actually I would want to enter even over here, then that'll be even great. And if we look in terms of the Elliott wave extension wise, you see that this is the 1:1.618 FIB extension. So this region is definitely a good region to add, which is the 23K region. So potentially we could have a very sharp drop towards this area. So what I do intend to do is I do intend to put buy orders. So in case if it does have a sharp drop and a sharp bounce, then I'll be able to catch that. So that's something to bear in mind. But that is more in terms of a long-term investment and not in terms of trading wise, because anywhere between these 22.5 to 24K to me is going to be a very strong support. And yeah, if it does fall there, I believe it will be really sharp and really short period of time. So otherwise, that's more or less my plan in mind. And yeah, that's more or less about it. I'll still keep this trade intact having this stop loss at 29.9K region. So if it does have a not so sharp of a drop and then bounce up, then yeah, that'll be great. Otherwise, if it does drop, then I'll just take the stop loss of 1R. Otherwise, that's more or less about it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.